In this video, we're going to talk about commercial kitchen design and equipment with regard in particular to supermarkets, and not just any supermarkets, kosher supermarkets. How are you today, Ariel?
I'm doing fine, thank God.
So we've been speaking a little bit about supermarkets here, but I'd like to focus in a little bit on kosher supermarkets. Now, this has to be a little bit different than normal supermarkets. What's the big difference here when it comes to commercial kitchen design in kosher supermarkets?
The challenges of a supermarket in general is that you're taking 5, 6 different departments, whether it's from concessions or whether it's from one owner, and we're slicing up a single space to give each one the best exposure and the best space to be able to serve the customer.
Right, so we're
You
talking
have the
different
meat departments,
Yeah.
you have the fish departments, you have sushi departments, you have an appetizing department sometime, you have produce departments, and you have, in the deli department itself, you have cold deli food that you can sell, and then sometimes it's hot deli that you sell. All these things come together, and there's a lot of legwork, a lot of production that has to happen properly with the proper temperatures, whether it's working, cold prepping it in the proper cold temperatures and then heating it in the proper heat, maintaining the heat or cooling it properly, in all these different departments. What happens when you come to a kosher situation, suddenly there's a lot more aspects you have to consider.
Everything's got to double up, right?
Double and sometimes triple, because
Really?
you have dairy, meat, and then we call parv, which is neutral. When we design kitchens in the back of a supermarket, just for the deli department and for the fish department, the appetizer, we can have 5 kitchens just like that.
Just for those two?
Just for those two, because they need a meat kitchen to prepare all the meat products. They need a dairy kitchen to prepare the dairy products. And then the called parv, let's say it's an item that's not meat, not dairy, and they want to be able to eat it with meat or with dairy, it has to be done in a neutral setting. It can't be next to the dairy and it can't be next to the meat.
So physical proximity is important too.
That's correct. So sometimes we can border it, sometimes we set it up differently. Every single area, the sizing of the kitchens, are you going to be selling a lot more meat than parv? Do you want to just generalize, do everything parv and then leave a little bit for meat? Or do you want to leave a small section for dairy? And so on. And the same thing when it comes to the meat department. The meat department, he's not going to be using the deli department because his stuff has to stay cold. He's not heating stuff, but he may prepare foods ready so a person can take it home and cook it. He may marinate it, he'll need a space for that. And it can't be next to the dairy and it can't be next to the parv. So these are the type of challenges, in addition to the regular supermarket challenges, which is it's not a small feat to put it all together.
Yeah.
You suddenly have a lot more things. We've dealt with a lot of major names in the kosher supermarket industry. We've partnered up with Seasons, we've partnered up with Evergreen, and we've seen a lot of success from the end user walking in and just loving the experience.
I've got to say, you guys must be one of the very few commercial kitchen design and equipment companies that focus on kosher supermarkets and kosher environments in particular.
That is correct. Thank you.
All right, good, thank you. Well, I only have a couple more questions for you here. When it comes to kosher supermarkets, are there any other considerations when it comes to the equipment that you might use?
The actual equipment that we might use is usually based on the production and the demographics of the clientele.
So there's no such thing as a kosher cooker? I'm just checking.
There is.
There is? So what does that
There's
look
a
like?
lot of pieces of equipment which will have halachic, which is Jewish law issues, based on the way it cooks. So we would address it with the manufacturer. At times we would address it in the field to do certain differences to the equipment to be able to supply and deal with a more faith-based type of
That's fascinating.
industry.
So
For
you have
example,
to modify equipment. Yeah, what's
for
an
example,
of that?
a lot of the digital displays we cannot use on Shabbat. So we have to put
Right.
regular dials. We'll produce a bunch of warmers, for example, with dials in it instead of a digital display. We'll relieve a lot of those concerns. Standing pilots on ovens are an issue that a lot of the supervision requires. We work with that as well. And it's a constant process, and as things go along, we're discovering, as new equipment comes out, as society in general evolves into the more digital and all that, the challenges keep coming up, and we try to address it as well as we can.
That is absolutely fascinating. All right, well, thank you very much. I appreciate your insight when it comes to kosher supermarkets, a whole bunch of stuff I'd never even thought of. If you'd like to find out more about commercial kitchen design with regard to kosher supermarkets and commercial kitchen equipment, even specially modified for kosher supermarkets, please visit us online at culinarydepot.inc.com.